Greetings, N7RBP here. Well, we just wrapped up another year of Amron T-Rex emergency exercise, nationwide exercise. And this is the first year I've really actively participated. I've been a Amron member for a number of years, and I've gone in and out, more out actually than in as far as participation, but tried to keep up, tried to keep my knife sharp, and tried to log on to Amron frequencies and participate here and there through the years. But I haven't really been a dedicated Amron member. But the way things are going in this day and age, the shape of things, the way the wars are unfolding, and things are just getting really, really tense. So this year I decided I'm going to get a little bit more involved with Amron, and if things do, if the fit does happen to hit the shan, I want to be able to find out what's going on and copy the traffic. And of course, occasionally input. If we have something here locally to input, I can do that as well. So a little basic history of myself. I've been a ham for over 30 years, and I'm actually quite good at using the FL Digi suite. Pretty good at using JS8 call, Vera AC. I'm good. I do all the digital modes, and I'm familiar with all the digital modes, and I can make my way through them without any problem. So enter Amron, and their digital modes, or the digital modes that they use, which again I can handle, no problem. But I had some frustrations last year. I definitely had some frustrations, and this year definitely having some frustrations with trying to copy everything that comes across. And one of my biggest frustrations was, for some reason, and it doesn't happen only but with Amron, the other nets, the other digital nets, I used to listen to the Orca digital net all the time, MFSK32, and they'd switch between modes, and with my RXID on, I could follow them. My program would follow their switching modes, etc., without any problem. But with Amron, for some reason, not all the time, but probably 60% of the time, for some reason I find that when I'm sitting on Contestia 4250 on 7110, waiting for something to happen, and all of a sudden there's someone comes on and everything, I'm copying everything just fine on 4250. Then when they transmit, and again, not all of the time, but some of the time with some of the transmitters, as soon as they start transmitting a file in MFSK32, my program will jump from 900 on the waterfall over to 1500, and it's so frustrating. And then of course I miss out totally on the first of that file, and so if we've got a bunch of lines that need to be copied, blocks if you will, that need to be copied, I'm left out in the cold on that one, because I didn't get the initial line that allows the system to copy everything. So I don't have a clue why that's happening. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it'll stick right there. and it'll flip over to MFSK32 and everything works fine. But more often than not, I would say 60% of the time, I'll be sitting there on 900 on the waterfall and copying the situation just fine, and then all of a sudden they start transmitting in MFSK32 and they do a TXID, and the TXID looks correct. It says, okay, we're going to switch. And then, boom, it switches over to 1500 on the waterfall, just like that. So that's one of my biggest frustrations. And, if you don't catch it right off the bat, you're just kind of left out into left field, waiting for somebody to retransmit the whole thing. And I have to stay right on top of it, watching the screen to bring it back to MFSK32. And, once I do that, then I can copy the lines, copy every line coming across, no problem. But since I missed that initial header, my flamp isn't picking up the blocks that are missing. So very, very frustrating. I don't know what the scoop is there. Also, I had a mental block, if you will, against Python, CommStat. Looked like a great program, and people were, raving about it and talking about it, and saying you need to use it. And so I made a couple of attempts at installing it and threw my hands up in the air. But as T-Rex got started this weekend, I thought, well, let me give it a try. And so I tried it once again, and after, I don't know, a half a day, it took me about a half a day to figure out what was going on, but I finally got it installed, and it appears to be sort of working. I'm receiving everything in the bottom screen. I'm able to transmit a stat rep without any problem. But what's frustrating with CommStat is I'm not seeing anyone else's stat rep in the CommStat screen. I'm not seeing the color-coded blocks or anything. I do, however, whenever I transmit a stat rep, it comes back and someone occasionally will say acknowledged. And even if they do or they don't, it'll still come back and show my stat rep showing up when the colored blocks going across the screen. My stat rep, red, green, yellow, whatever. And I did put out about 6 stat reps this weekend, and they all showed up on CommStat just fine, but not a single soul who transmitted a stat rep out there in T-Rex land this weekend showed up on CommStat. Only myself, and again, frustration, I don't know what's going on there, but basically that's my thoughts on the overall, the exercise appeared to be actually pretty cool. I enjoyed participating, and I was able to get the gist of what was going on. I was able to copy some of the flamps, the big messages coming through. JS8 call, no problem with it. I just didn't have any problem with it at all. And in my system, I had to either be logged on to either JS8 call or FLDigi, one of the two. My computer won't allow, for some reason, my sound card doesn't like working with both at the same time. I don't know why. And I've been told that it's totally doable and that others do it, and that's great. Unfortunately for me, it's just, it's one or the other, and I can handle that. But just, that was another thing that's kind of frustrating. having to jump between JS8 call and FL Digi. I'd be on JS8 call and monitoring, and then all of a sudden I'd see some FL Digi coming across, and so exit out of JS8 call, enter FL Digi, and log on to Contestia 4250. But by that time, I was behind the curve, and a lot of times they had already passed up 4250 and gone to transmitting the file on MFSK32, and again, I was behind the curve. I missed the initial header, so I was able to copy, once I was on MFSK32, I was able to copy all the lines on the screen, but they didn't equate to blocks received. Consequently, I was not able to send a report of which blocks were missing because it didn't record them in the first place. But occasionally it'd hit, occasionally it'd all work, everything would just come together, and so consequently through the weekend I did get, like I say, the gist of everything that was going on, and it was a cool exercise for the most part, and I don't think that I really through the weekend missed anything of significant importance. If it would have been a real life event, I think for the most part I got what I needed to get, what I would have wanted to get, and I feel confident that if it were a real life event and it were to unfold, I think I could probably hold my own. Practice makes perfect, and like I said, I have not been what do I want to say, a member of significance in the recent past or in the past period, and I just need to jump in and become more active and get more practice, and that will probably cure my woes. So anyhow, I'm going to show you just a few slides on what frustrated me on the waterfall, and then we'll just wrap it up. So 73s, it was a good T-Rex, and I look forward to next year's. I don't look forward to real life events occurring, but I wouldn't be surprised if in 2025 something didn't come down and we might find ourselves in real life scenarios. So that's why I'm jumping in and want to get this taken care of. Have fun, everybody out there, and we'll talk to you a little later. All right, so I've taken a few screenshots here of items that have frustrated me through the weekend. And right here on this screenshot right here, we start out with KK6MES making a short comment. He's talking to another ham during the exercise, and but this happens at least 50% of the time, and I have no clue why. But I was sitting on Contestia 4-250 at 900 on the waterfall, and when he started transmitting, for some reason my FL Digi jumped right over to 1500. Usually that happens when the transmitting station indicates that on their blue line here when they start transmitting their TXID. He did a TXID, and it says 900 here on the waterfall, but this has happened at least 50% of the time when I'm trying to copy on 900 on the waterfall, it'll jump over to 15 when they start transmitting, and I don't understand why that is. Also, I had, let's see here, another one. Here it happened again. I don't have anything up here to show you, but it did. I was sitting on 900 on the waterfall, and boom, I took a snapshot because it shot me over to 1500 on the waterfall. And there's another one. Again, I was sitting on 900 on the waterfall, ready to copy, and on 4250, Contestia 4250, and they started MFSK32 on 900, and for some reason, boom, I got shot over to 1500, and it didn't even change to MFSK32. It stayed at Contestia, but for some reason, that was happening, and it was very frustrating trying to copy. I did copy probably, I was in and out of the shack a lot of times, and I didn't copy, obviously, everything that came across the screen. What I would have liked to have done was set my MFSK 32 or Contestia 4. Actually, what I would have liked to have done is set my Contestia 4250 on waterfall 900, and then allowed it to shift back and forth as when I was not in the shack. But that doesn't happen. You have to be, if you're going to copy this stuff, you gotta be on the screen. So let's see. Let's go back here again. That one was frustrating to me, and I just got in right after they started transmitting, and evidently some other people had trouble copying also, because they were coming back to K6 or KF6YNC, that they were missing all these blocks. And I understand how the blocks work. I understand how to copy. I understand how all of it works. But if you don't get in on it right at the very first, you're kind of toast. I was able to copy. If it's not FLAMP, it's no problem. No problem copying. That didn't. I don't know why I made a screenshot of that, other than to prove that I was definitely receiving it. But and then, of course, I was able to copy, and it came there. That was not anything real frustrating. Here's what was really frustrating to me. This one I just don't understand, and I'm going to have to ask someone after this exercise is over. CommStat really buffaloed me. I had a terrible time trying to figure out how to get it installed in the first place, and fortunately I eventually was able to get it installed, and it appears to be working in most respect. I'm getting acknowledgments from Net Control that they received my stat rep, and it seems to be going out fine, and I seem to be seeing everything. But what's frustrating to me, and I don't understand, is I was under the impression that when someone else sent a stat rep via CommStat, that they would show up here in this graphic area with their call sign and their status. That doesn't happen. Whenever I send one, it comes back, it shows up on my screen, but as you can see, all the stat reps that I sent this weekend, that was them. Actually, I actually did two more than this. This is when I took the screenshot, though. But all I'm seeing is what I'm sending on the screen. And the same is true of the map down below. It shows my location, and it shows the one and only N7RBP as the only person that's working in CommStat. So I got to figure out why it's not receiving all the other stat reps. I don't know. So let's see here. What else was frustrating to me? Again, the jumping off, and that's it. So those are the items that primarily frustrated me during the exercise. And but for the most part, I was able to get the gist of the national emergency, what was happening. I was able to copy, definitely not all of them, but enough for me to keep abreast of what was going on and see this exercise unfolding on the screen in both FL Digi and the JS8 call. So there we go. That is showing just a little bit of my frustrations.